3 a.m. You open your eyes in the dark, and before your feet touch the floor, the audit begins. Internal temperature taken, the edges of the mind checked, yesterday's prayer measured against this morning's silence, looking for any evidence the needle has moved. You pray, then you watch your own chest to see if the praying worked. You repent, then you check the wound to see if it closed. And you call it faithfulness. You think this is what it means to take God seriously. But underneath the watching is a fear you have never said out loud, that if you stop measuring for one morning, it all falls apart. So you took the post, night watchman of your own soul, breaking under the weight of a shift you were never strong enough to work, because somewhere inside you decided the watch was empty, unless you kept it. But the watch was never empty. Psalm 121. He who keeps you will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The eyes that never close in the middle of the night are not yours. You have been standing guard over a post that already had a keeper. And he does not get tired, he does not look away, he does not need you to cover the hours. He has watched since before you were born. Genesis 1. Not the verse everyone knows, the detail no one stops at. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. From the beginning, the evening came first. He was already in it, already working, already planting what the morning would not yet show. And Adam was made on the 6th day. The first full day God gave him was the Sabbath. He slept in a garden he did not plant, because someone was awake who would never close his eyes. Psalm 127. It is in vain that you rise up early and stay up late, for he gives to his beloved sleep. In vain. Not the work, the anxiety, the dawn spent guarding a gate that was never unguarded. Look at a seed. It does not push the water in, it lets the water in. The shell breaks from the inside, not from striving, from saturation. The pressure that splits the husk is not effort. It is the seed's stillness in something that will not stop giving. Jesus said it once, "Abide in me and I in you, As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you abide. Stay where you are held. Not the easy word you think it is. Abiding is not lying down. Abiding is the hardest thing a frightened branch can do. To stay connected when every instinct is screaming to pull back and check. A branch that pulls away from the vine to see if the grape has formed yet is a branch that just stopped forming it. Your first posture is to stay soaked. The breaking is what happens to anything that stops resisting the water. This is what the gardener has been preparing you for. Not the striving, the opening. And what opens does not stay closed. It grows. So tonight, this is not permission to quit. It is something harder. Close your eyes while the work is still unfinished. Close them while the wound is still open, while the prayer still hangs in the air with no answer you can measure. Not because you stop caring, because you finally believe someone else is awake. That is what sleep is now. Not surrender to exhaustion. The boldest act of trust a watchman ever made. To lay the lantern down in front of the one whose eyes were never going to close anyway. God never asked you to keep the watch. He was looking for a son brave enough to sleep. In a house where the father never does.
I opened my eyes and reached for the wound, checking the edges to see if they moved. I prayed in the dark, then I measured the dark, guarding a gate that was never apart. First man slept in a garden of grace, 'cause the keeper of Israel was holding the place. The evening came first and he was already there, planting in silence while I stood there afraid. I don't have to keep the watch tonight. I was never the reason morning came. Giving the night back to your name. He will not slumber, he will not sleep. So I am clocking out tonight. Is not empty, the post was never mine. You were watching while I was counting. You were keeping while I was afraid. A branch that lets go just to look at the vine is a branch that forgot how the fruit ever grows. My first posture staying right here. The saturation does what striving alone never could. It was never empty. You were always awake. Evening, then morning. The order is yours. I will sleep in my Father's house. To the one entrust the watch, who never does